Well, good morning, good afternoon, happy Sunday. We're back. It's been a little while. We haven't had a show in about 5 weeks, but I am your host, Tony Twist, just in case you forgot, and joined by, she's joining us to check out the co-host duties for a little while. She is fantastic, and you will love her. I'd like to welcome, and everyone, if they could welcome, Ellie G. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to see what I can contribute to your awesome podcast. A little intimidated. You've got a whole good thing going here. So hopefully I have something good to contribute.
Well,
Happy to
thank
be
you.
here.
Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. This is going to be a lot of fun. And our guest today is he's an OG of the show, straight out of Chicago, Chi-Town, our local CM Punk expert. Uh, we haven't confirmed that or not, but the guy loves CM Punk. Let's bring him on. The Pro from the Pro Wrestling Podcast out of Chicago. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
What's going on, everybody?
How you
It's
doing,
been a
man?
minute. It's been a minute.
It has. It's been a minute since we had our show. We've gone through some changes. Somebody's working on a new intro, not to name any names, but we're kind of waiting on that. But
Yeah, I wonder who that could be.
I don't know. I can't reveal my sources, but welcome Ellie G to the show.
What's going on, Ellie?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing good. It's the afternoon here, so I just had my coffee. I don't know. I see Tony got his. I'm ready to have some lunch, but I'm doing yeah. Look at you guys, all coffeeed up.
Cheers.
Damn right. Coffee is life.
I love coffee.
Coffee's a hobby. Coffee is my hobby all day, all night.
And it's funny because I haven't grown to love coffee as much until I hit like 27. I was like, I shunned coffee for like my whole remainder of life, and then after I got a little bit older, I don't know. I have a big appreciation for it now. So, man,
Well, being in Chicago, I mean, shit, you probably throw a rock and hit like 5 coffee spots.
yeah. There's a Dunkin' in like every corner, a McDonald's, you name it.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the chains. Like, you guys got to have some good mom and pop coffee shops there, right?
Oh yeah, there's Stan's Donuts. Oh my God, Stan's Donuts. If you guys haven't been to Stan's Donuts, go check that out. And I think it's on Clark Street. It's a really nice place to get donuts and coffee. My favorite, and this might be basic, but my favorite is the strawberry frosted one.
Sounds like a lot of sugar.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Are you
It's
kidding?
Sounds
me?
delicious.
All sugar and a little caffeine. Well, we
That's
are
the
not
best way.
sponsored by Stan's Donuts, but Stan, if you're out there, always looking for sponsorships. Brought to you by Dave. We'll give Dave a little portion of that. But
I would
anyways,
appreciate it.
man, we haven't been on in 5-6 weeks. The wrestling world, never a dull moment. We brought Dave on, the Pro, on the show this morning to give his take on the CM Punk situation. So if you've been living under a rock for the past 6 months and have no idea what's going on with CM Punk, I think the Pro is going to clue us in. And CM Punk is definitely trolling the internet this week with IG stories and posts, and then taking them down, putting them up. And then he trolled Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. And if you caught our post on ATW, Rhea Ripley actually liked our post this morning. So big shout out to Rhea Ripley. I think Ellie might have a big crush there on Rhea Ripley, but I think pretty much any wrestling fan does. So, Pro, give us the summary, man. What's been going on with Punk? What's he up to? What's he doing? Is he coming back? Is he just fucking with everybody? What's the deal with Punk?
Dude, he's been doing the same thing for 10 years now. He's just trolling and he's dropping like these subtle hints every now and then. I don't know what exactly he wants, because one minute he's dropping hints on my comments saying he read a book by Steve Kern talking about how he had beef with the locker room backstage and then squashed it immediately, right? And then the next day he's spilling out all this tea. Now, about the tea thing, I think
Are you saying tea or teeth?
Tea.
Oh,
We're not talking about
Drinking tea.
Danhausen here. Yeah, no.
okay. We're
teeth.
Yeah.
We're drinking coffee, but the Pro's drinking some tea.
Tea. Yeah. As far as the whole like him spilling what he spilled on his Instagram post and then immediately deleting it, a lot of people are calling it childish, and they have their opinions about it. I don't think it's childish. I think he was just clearing the air on a lot of things because there's a lot of stories that come out that people, they claim to know things about what happened backstage. Nobody knows what happens backstage. Nobody. Even Dave Meltzer, I think he's insufferable to listen to, for one. He's like out here just spewing. He's like, yeah, it could happen. It could not happen. Like, he doesn't know shit about what's going on. So, and that's one thing that Punk is constantly talked about, is that Dave Meltzer doesn't know shit. Chris Jericho doesn't know shit. The only people that know exactly what happened are the Bucks and Kenny and Larry. And Larry's not talking. So,
the dog.
Yeah.
And what about Ace Steel? That guy, he's going
Ace
around
Steel.
biting. But
Yeah,
do you
that's
think he
another
actually
thing
bit
too.
somebody?
No, but that's another thing too. Like, people are just saying like it's a work. Like, if it's a work, then Ace Steel never got the memo because he legitimately got fired. So I don't know about the whole work thing either. What I do know is that he's been talking about this Dave Meltzer shit for months. For months, he's been talking shit. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. He's trying to like manipulate it. Yeah, he's stirring the pot a little bit. He's trying to manipulate it so you don't know what's happening next, I think.
Do you think he's actually going to show back up? Will we see him at Double or Nothing in May in Las Vegas, live from the MGM Grand Garden?
No, I don't think we'll see him at Double or Nothing. If anything, if I'm fantasy booking here, I think he should show back up where it all began. All Out.
It's been so long. So would All Out be the next pay-per-view after Double or Nothing?
Yeah. Well, it would be Forbidden Door and then All Out.
Forbidden Door and All
and
Out.
then
That's
and then
still
All Out.
A long time though.
All Out.
This seems
September.
like a very fresh stirring of the pot. So to me,
but bro, people have been talking about this. But people have been talking about this for like 8 months now. It's still like it's new news. You know, you can't bring it up, and then anytime you bring it up on a podcast, anywhere you go, it's like a fresh debate.
Ellie, I would love to give your take on this. I know you caught up on a lot of CM Punk news this morning. The Pro is a huge CM Punk fan, so I don't think he's going to say anything disparaging about CM Punk, especially CM Punk liking his comments and his posts. So,
right. Well, I'm a casual fan, so I'll put that first. What I know of CM Punk is he's always stirring the pot, and I think it is childish. Him coming out after this long, why now? Why is he coming out now? And is it strategic because of WrestleMania? Is he trying to distract some attention from there? I want to know the whys behind it because I don't care. I'm so tired of seeing him be this character of just stirring shit, being duplicitous, it seems, and just, I'm over it. How long does this guy even have left in wrestling? I don't get why this is entertaining anymore. I find him very frustrating and irritating. Like, just get off, go away.
Either go away or come back.
There's no action.
Oh, is everybody there? I got no audio. Hey, Ellie, would you mind repeating like the last 30 seconds? I don't know if I lost it. Pro, can you hear her, or did you hear her, or did I?
No, she got frozen on me.
Oh, okay, so if you could just say what you said over the last 30 seconds, it like froze up.
Yeah, I'm finally getting you back. I'm just saying, I'm not a fan. I like it when he's actually in the ring doing something. Right now, I don't care about all the jawing back and forth. What's going to be the action behind it? Why is he doing this now? After this long, so is he ready to come back? Is that what's going on? He's ready to come back. Where is he coming back to? Because Tony Khan was going to fire him, and then he was not going to fire him, and now he's just sitting there. Is there a reason he's coming now right before WrestleMania? Is it?
Now, I think you bring up a really excellent point. I think you bring up an excellent point. We're 6 days out from WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles. You know, the WWE hype machine is in full gear, and you know, it's WrestleMania, Roman Reigns. But wait a minute, CM Punk starts trolling people this past week. We're a week out from WrestleMania. Is this a strategic thing, like Ellie said, with Tony and CM Punk, just to get people looking over at AEW? Because to be honest with you, MJF is their champ right now. To me, MJF as the champ is a bit stale, in my opinion. I think him chasing the title was a lot more entertaining than him actually being the champ. So, I don't know. Ellie brought up a really good point. As we know, pro wrestling is all about telling stories. And, you know, AEW and Tony Khan, you know, Tony Khan is always trying to take shots at WWE whenever he can. And this will kind of take us into our next thing. And we're going to talk about Goldberg possibly showing up in AEW. But we'll get to that in a minute. Pro, what do you think about that? Do you think this could be strategic because we are about 6 days out from WrestleMania?
No.
I think we stumped them. Did we stump you?
No, you didn't stump me. I don't think it's strategic at all. I think this is all completely random.
It doesn't feel random. I don't think CM Punk is random. Sorry, go ahead.
He's been dropping hints. Well, he's been dropping hints since before the end of the year.
Right, but he's been quiet for quite a while. I mean, we're already going into April. I don't think no one's talked about this story for a little while. And it just seems convenient that a week before WrestleMania, he's trying to distract and draw attention away from WWE, put some focus back on AEW. That's my thought, and Ellie brought that up, and I totally agree. I think it's very strategic. CM Punk, if you know his career, he's not random. A lot of things that he does are strategic. He had a pretty good mentor in Paul Heyman, and anybody knows the business, Paul Heyman is anything but random and extremely strategic. So I have a feeling there's definitely some strategy behind this.
Maybe. But then what's the point of commenting on, you know, Rey Mysterio shit?
Well,
what's the point of any of it? He just likes to stir it up.
Well, if you don't know what he said about Rey Mysterio and Dominic, I think Rey Mysterio had maybe tweeted something out saying that, you know, I'm finally gonna handle business, and you know, I punched my son, and now we're gonna have a match at Mania. And then CM Punk, in his true nature, loves to stir some shit, and said, "Good for you, Ray. I've been wanting to punch that kid for 13 years." And they had a picture with CM Punk facing Rey Mysterio and Dominic, a young Dominic, behind him as a little kid. He might have been like maybe 12, 13. So I just thought that was pretty funny that CM Punk was doing that. I don't think that has anything to do with what CM Punk was doing. But I guess the big question is, why did he go with that long tirade post on Instagram and then delete it? What do you make of that, Pro?
Probably somebody told him to put it down legal, because I don't know. I think it's a still ongoing case legally.
Right.
So
Ellie, did you hear some information or see some information about how AEW handles those with the contracts about being able to put stuff out to the media?
Yeah, legally, they are not allowed to disparage the company in public. Everything is supposed to be done behind closed doors. So I think that might be why he talked all that smack and then took it down. He could face legal repercussions from that. But then is Tony Khan very litigious? Has he done that before? Has he held people to the fire of their contracts like that?
I don't know, but Ellie's dropping some big words on us, and hopefully our ATW audience can handle. You might want to go look up duplicitous and litigious. for you wrestling marks out there, you might not know these words, so let's definitely look those up. Right, but CM Punk, I don't think he doesn't come off as a dumb guy. He's definitely highly intelligent. So I really don't think that he forgot what's in his contract. That's why I feel this is all a fucking work. I think it's all work. I don't think any of this shit is real. I think this is some long storytelling that Tony Khan is trying to pull off, in my opinion. Now, I know this is not the Pro Wrestling Podcast show, in my opinion, but that's my opinion.
Right. No, but that's the thing. Like, if it was a work, then, like I said, Ace Steel needs to come back then.
Exactly.
Yeah, he got
where's the game
real
at
life
with Summer?
fired.
They
Like,
just giving him a break. Did he get injured by chance during that?
wait, Ace Steel?
Yeah.
No, he's the one that threw a chair at somebody.
Yeah. Oh no, he
right,
bit.
yeah.
No, I thought he threw a chair and bit somebody.
I thought it was
See, we can't even keep everything fucking straight because the stories came from Ace Steel, CM Punk, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and anyone else that was outside the locker room all gave their fucking point of view on the story.
Yeah.
This has got to be one of the funniest things that I've ever seen happen in pro wrestling. Their supposed fight backstage. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. All I know is it's got people talking, and it's got people talking about CM Punk and AEW and what's going to happen next. So it does take a little bit of the spotlight off of WrestleMania, in my opinion. And
Or does WWE take a little bit of spotlight off of their WrestleMania? Because I'm gonna be honest, even before all this Punk shit, I haven't been hyped for it.
You're not hyped for Mania?
Not really.
Okay, I got to hear why, man. I got to hear why.
I mean, it's just like everybody, talks about storylines and stuff, but it's okay to have a storyline, but like make them good. I'm not interested in any of them. The only one I'm interested in is probably Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes.
I mean, that's the big one. And
then, that's a big one. That's the main
one.
We're
coming up on Roman. I think when Mania happens, I think it's just under 1,000 days or something like that. He's actually, I read something this morning, he's going to be the first champion to headline 3 WrestleManias in a row with the same title reign, which is unprecedented. So big shout out to Roman Reigns. I always haven't been a fan of the whole bloodline storyline, but over the last several months, it's definitely grown on me. A big reason is a big thanks to Paul Heyman. I mean, the guy's a fucking genius. I mean, everything Paul Heyman does is like, it's gold. Everything he touches is gold. And Roman really has to give a lot of credit, I think, to Paul Heyman on this because, as we all know, Roman Reigns was shoved down the throats of the WWE fans for years, and people just weren't buying it. I mean, this was maybe one of the most unlikable guys before all of this. People pretty much hated him. They only liked him in the Shield. Would you agree on that, Pro?
I mean, I still don't like him, but that's neither here or there.
What do you think, Ellie? As a casual fan, as the Bloodline storyline, do you think it could keep going? They could keep milking this, or is it kind of gradually coming to its natural end?
I like to look at them, but I don't like to. I don't like the storyline. I don't.
No?
I could care less. No. And okay, so again, as a casual fan, I am a big fan of the physicality of wrestling. I am a huge fan of all the innovation that they do, bringing in the gymnastics and all the high flying and even seeing these big guys just do such great, women as well, lifting each other, just behemoths. I mean, I cannot get enough of that. When it comes to the plot thing, and all the storylines, it's not for me, honestly. And I think that probably a lot of people are not going to like that about me, but I don't love the plots. Now, I'll tell you on the opposite side with AEW, there's like not enough plot. It like, I don't know. They don't keep me interested. I think they're not as good physically in matches. I don't, it just doesn't keep my interest. So there's got to be, I don't know, either better writing or a happy medium between there's too much plot and then there's not enough. I don't work there. I can't go in there and fix it. But yeah, I don't like the bloodline. I think it's the melodrama. Come on. To me, I'm not a dramatic person. I don't like I like, who are we just talking about?
Paul
And whose
Heyman?
words? No, previous.
CM Punk, Roman Reigns.
Sorry. Oh my God, CM Punk. I like CM Punk as a wrestler. I don't like all the drama that he creates and that follows him. So for me, the whole bloodline and everything, it's just kind of silly. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. I think him having the belt for so long, it's boring. On. I don't like it. I think it's really interesting with the women, Rhea Ripley, and with give me another name, Charlotte. I think it's so interesting that they're both heels, and that what could come of that. Whoever wins, who's going to come up on the opposite range? Who's going to be the good guy? Who's going to be the bad guy after that? When it comes to Roman Reigns just constantly winning, there's just no interest. What are you going to do after that? Okay, so Roman Reigns wins again. Now what? How are you going to keep the bloodline going? Like, what's the point? It just, at some point, it just feels pointless. You can go for so long, and then it's just like, cut it.
Now, everything that you're saying is kind of what I was saying like a year ago when it comes to Roman Reigns, because that was like 2 years into his reign. Now this is a number 3. I think this is a great example of long storytelling, which this could be on the extreme side because it's going for so long. But I think they could wrap it all up in a nice little package at WrestleMania. And I'll kind of explain that a little bit. And I know we're not doing our WrestleMania preview show right now, but this was a great segue into this. Now, the bloodline. You got Roman, you got the Usos, you got Solo, and you got Paul Heyman, right? So the fans were really getting behind Sammy. And I think they wanted to see this huge push for Sammy, but then they were kind of, WWE was going in the direction as maybe Cody Rhodes is going to be the guy to dethrone him and kind of be the new face of the company. And in my opinion, I think is the perfect guy to be the face of the company. No knock on Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn is fantastic. It really had you drawn into this story more with the bloodline and Sammy. But I don't see Sammy as the champ. I don't see the guy dethroning Roman needs to have a much bigger presence. And the story of Cody and his father and their family, I think this perfectly kind of culminates into Cody becoming the champion and becoming the face of the company. The Usos are going to face Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the tag team champs. They're going to lose the belts. It's like the bloodline's going to lose all the gold. Kind of like what Cody was foreshadowing that everyone was going to leave Roman. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Roman Reigns loses the belt. Cody's the new face of the company. The Usos are no longer tag champs. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as fucking tag champs, that makes the tag team division exciting because just like Ellie was saying about Roman just having the belt over and over, and it's like, who's next? This is getting boring. It's the same thing with the tag team division in the WWE, which has been pretty stale for quite a while. You put the belts on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, that brings excitement back to the tag team division, which they've sorely been lacking for God knows how long. So I think this will be a perfect culmination at Mania for a changing of the guard. You got guys that they were trying to pump up like Karrion Kross that is fizzled out. But to be honest, Karrion Kross is a guy that I could see stalking Cody Rhodes. That could be a great storyline. Like, I would love to see these guys in the ring or continue the story with Seth Rollins and Cody. Now Cody is the champ. I mean, to me, in my opinion, there's no one better as entertaining as a character as Seth Rollins right now. I love Seth. Huge fan of Seth for many years. Now, I know that was a lot. Pro, what do you think about that, man? I know you're not excited about Mania, but I am excited to see how this storyline ends, which I really think it will.
I just want to say before, I wanted to say this when Ellie was talking. I knew I liked her because she said that the stories don't really do anything for her. And I've been saying that for years, right? I stories don't do it for me. Just give me like 2 people that can go, and I love it. right?
Mhm.
But on the
But
same,
what about the in-ring psychology, man? Because when you don't
everybody
have
has,
the
but that's the
stories
thing.
there-
Everybody has their own definition of what in-ring psychology is. There's not like one set definition.
But
Is
here's
it
the thing with
promos?
AEW
Is it
that pisses me
moves?
off. It's all about and I'm going to quote Braun Strowman, all that flippy floppy wrestling bullshit. I'm sorry. I love the athleticism in AEW, but Toe from the Knucklehead Network podcast, giving them a shout out, he brought up a very good point on a show a while back about spot wrestlers. And I think AEW has way too many of those guys that they're just looking for spots. And if you don't know what that is, there's not a lot of in-ring work, and you're just it's going from one outrageous thing to another. And to me, that's not fucking wrestling. I just don't think it's wrestling. In my opinion, I just don't think it's good wrestling. When I see a guy kick out of a finishing move like fucking 10 times, you're not selling. Selling is a lost art. That's one thing. And then selling a guy's finishing move, it was a problem I had with ECW way back in the day, where guys would just be kicking out of finishers left and right. ECW was a lot different because there was storylines there, and it wasn't just spot wrestling. And I think that's where AEW doesn't do it for me. There's only a couple guys over there that I enjoy, and if you've been a fan of our show, you know that I'm a major fan of Bryan Danielson. I think he's the best wrestler in the world, hands down. The guy puts on matches like no other. I mean, they got a couple guys over there, but the locker room, for the most part, they're just fucking spot wrestlers, man. That's just my opinion. But anyways, go back to what you're saying, Pro, about WrestleMania and kind of the culminating of the Bloodline storyline. Where do you see this going?
I kind of want to piggyback off of what you said, because there's a lot of things that I find with like discrepancies in the actual wrestling that people like. Like, you know, Mick Foley choking somebody out with a sock. That's not flippy or carny at all, right? Hulk Hogan with a leg drop. I mean, come on, it's a leg drop. That's not going to knock anybody out.
You're all over the place here, though, man. You're talking about those are different things. Those are finishers. One's you're talking.
But I'm saying, I think it's like
nobody took
that's
him
what I'm saying.
serious.
But I'm saying, everybody has their own definition of what they think in ring or wrestling should be, and it's not just one way. You know, you got death match wrestling, flippy lucha. Lucha is all flippy. So if you don't like flippy shit, don't watch AAA.
But they're not spot wrestlers, though. There's a lot of great in-ring work when you watch luchadors, man.
For the most part, but we all know what lucha is. We know all what lucha style is. It's acrobatics, and for the most part, like extreme shit. They'll do shit off the fucking top rope that I've never seen before. Did you like the Kenny Omega Vikingo match?
I'll be honest with you. I only caught highlights of it.
Okay.
I have not got to watch. I've been focused on Mania, man. There's a lot of things I'm excited about Mania.
Okay.
So no, I have not.
I'll bring it back to the
I
Mania.
Watch
I'll bring it back to the Mania and the Bloodline. All right.
Okay.
I still think, as far as Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, I'm with Ellie. I don't know what's next. Even when Cody wins, I don't know what's next, because they don't. To me, I don't think they think ahead of things like that. I think the fans are doing it better of thinking ahead of things than WWE is. And going back to what you said about Sammy not being that main guy, do you think that with his reactions that he got the past few weeks, with the tension that he had with the Bloodline, do you think that was just like a spark in the pan, or do you think he could have carried that with him if he would have won and became the main guy?
I'd love to get Ellie's take on this. Being a casual fan, I know you have your thoughts about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Do you see Sami Zayn like, when you think of like the face of the company, think of John Cena. You think of all these guys, even Roman as a bad guy or the anti-hero, whatever. You see like, yeah, this guy's the representation of the company. Can we see that with Sami Zayn? Maybe I'm just old school and I just don't see that. I don't know.
So what I know about Sami Zayn is he was quite accident prone, right?
Injury. He
Like
did have quite a
injury.
years where he's a lot of injuries. Yes.
Yeah. So for me, I don't want to invest in somebody like that. I like him as a character. I don't feel like he's got longevity for that reason. And I don't know, that's just how I think about it. I don't want to invest in a whole. I don't think he can carry it. I like Cody. I feel he's got the confidence, he's got the swagger, he just has the thing to.
Well, she does like him in a suit with the tattoo. I mean, she might like Cody for other reasons.
I think he's very easy on the eyes, but it still stands though. I think he has the confidence, and he just has that je ne sais quoi. He has the swagger to carry it forward. I don't feel like Sami Zayn does. I'm a very aesthetics person, obviously. So I don't like Sami's look. I don't like, I don't know. I think constantly about he's very kind of injury prone. I don't want him to stop and start and stop and start and stop and start again. It's just, I don't want to invest in that.
But that was the beginning of Cody's WWE career too, though. He got injured.
But look how and he did just come off that pec, man. But even so, I mean, he still works through. He still has a face even through injury and whatnot. You still see him here and there, and he still has involvement in the product. So I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Do you think, Tony? Do you think that Cody's being a little too obvious with the predictions or the spoilers, like to the point where it's almost you don't think it's going to happen?
But see, WWE's done this to you before, though, because you'll have guys that have challenged Roman over the last couple of years, and you're like, damn, is it really time? Is this going to be the person? Like WWE gets in your head a little bit with the story, and they're like, oh man, I think this is it. I think Roman's going to lose, right? So I think in a way they're kind of playing up to that a little bit, maybe giving you too much confidence as a fan. You're like, yeah, Cody's gonna take him. Like, this is it, right? So there's always that little doubt in the back of your head. You're like, shit, are they really going to carry this story further past Mania? Is Roman really going to win? Is someone going to come in and cause Cody to lose the match? I mean, this is where WWE is kind of good, and they kind of fuck with you a little bit. So I don't know. Cody's trying to be obvious, but then again, if you're really paying attention, we've kind of been here before, right? Going back to that European pay-per-view, something Battle at the Castle. What the hell was it?
Clash at the Castle.
There you go. I really thought for a minute that Drew was going to beat Roman. It looked like it. It looked like it was going to happen, and then it didn't. Because Solo came out of nowhere. That was his debut, right? Was that his debut for Solo?
I think so.
Because the Usos can't go to Europe because of the DUIs and shit. So they couldn't travel. They can't go to Canada. They can't go to Europe. Hold on. Breaking news.
What?
Kenny says Roman will be the champ after Mania. So I don't know. Kenny's calling it for Roman. I don't know. This is where you start thinking, you're like, shit, are they really going to make Cody the face of the company? Or is Roman going to be fucking champ till Kingdom Come? I don't know. I got to be honest. When Cody, when he does win, I'm probably going to cry because I have an affinity for the Rhodes family. Okay. My uncle, who was a Golden Gloves boxing champion in Texas, had a really great story about meeting his dad, Dusty Rhodes, in Texas at a restaurant, and said he was the nicest guy, the biggest sweetheart. He was like a big teddy bear, and they were just chatting forever because he was a professional boxer. And Dusty Rhodes at one time, I mean, this guy in the South for the Southern wrestling, he was like Elvis, right? He was like the man. It was Dusty Rhodes. It was the Ric Flair feuds. I mean, Dusty Rhodes, his dad's a legend. His dad's a legend. There's no doubt. But it was that one thing his dad never won. When Dusty Rhodes came to the WWF, they kind of made him a joke. He was not to really be taken seriously. I think it damaged his legacy a little bit. He's still a legend. But with Cody winning it, he's not just winning it for himself. He's doing it for his family and to complete that family legacy. That, to me, that has me very invested in the story, and I want to see him win.
Then again, you know, they
Come on,
have that
bro. What you
Roman
got?
Reigns. You know, then again, like, you know, that he's reaching his 1,000-day reign. So they might have that graphic up and ready too for when he wins.
But I guess the thing is, if he wins,
how
who
historic
the hell
would
does
that
he go
be?
up against next?
That's the thing. They kind of
Was
booked
that-
themselves into a corner with him.
But I'll tell you why Sammy wouldn't have been the good guy to go with. I think it would have been a short spark. But I think after a little bit, I don't think the fans would have really been behind him as champ. I see him bringing so much more value with him and KO winning the tag team belts. Because then you bring excitement back to the tag team division, which has been fucking stale for years. I mean, the Usos have been champs for a while. I can't even remember who was the tag team champs before them. Was it the New Day?
Right.
I don't even know.
But who would be the next one to step up for the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn? Because they literally have nobody besides the Street Profits, New Day, and the New Day's hurt, so they can't use them. Who would be next? You know, the tag team division wouldn't just magically be great again just because they got new champions.
I mean, I'm not saying that, but it does bring a sense of excitement. Hold on. Kenny's chipping in. Kenny tuned in this morning. WWE wants to run the storyline longer. He would have Cody lose at Mania, due to Solo get involved, have a rematch at Backlash, let him win it in Puerto Rico. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't do anything for me. I mean, I don't understand. Why wouldn't he win on the grandest stage of them all? That, to me, winning the next month at Backlash, I don't know. I think you lose all momentum of steam. If Cody's going to lose, he's got to move on to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny also says,
I agree with you.
Alpha Academy. If you don't know who Alpha Academy, it's Otis and Chad Gable. I don't know. Can we see these guys as tag champs? I don't know.
I mean, they're kind of having a storyline where they're almost splitting up. So I don't see that really happening. Otis is trying to go with the model, you know, that model group that LA Knight was with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
These are kind of the stupid storylines that I don't really get.
Yeah.
I don't really
see. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, everybody loves the storylines, but
I love a good storyline. I don't love every fucking storyline. There's a lot of garbage that they put out there.
Yeah, they're not all bangers. No.
Now, there's got to be something else you're looking forward to at Mania, man. Come on, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. I mean,
doesn't do it.
The rumor is they're gonna main event night one, which I really hope so. I think these ladies are gonna tear the house down.
Not really. I mean, I'm excited for Rhea Ripley to get her revenge on Charlotte after that WrestleMania during the pandemic. You know, with the NXT championship. But I mean, other than that, I don't know. It's kind of whatever.
What about Bianca Belair versus Asuka?
Now, I want to see Asuka, but I think Bianca's going to retain.
Really? I mean, this is not our prediction show, but I think Asuka's finally going to get that big win. And her getting it at Mania, I think, is huge. And I think that really catapults her, you know, and solidifies her spot as a main eventer, which I think they've kind of dropped the ball with her. And I think this would be a good way to put her back into that main event picture. And then you can add in a lot of feuds for Asuka. So I don't know. I see Asuka going over at Mania over Bianca. I mean, Bianca's fantastic, but I think it might be time for a big push for Asuka.
Listen, I just want to see what Logan Paul's going to do.
All right,
Tell
let's get
me your
into it
opinion
then.
on Logan Paul.
No, Ellie, I want to hear yours first, and then I want to hear what the pro says, because pro already sounds like he might be pro Logan Paul. So let's get it.
Okay.
I think he's a
I-
fucking douchebag, personally.
You stole my thunder there.
Well, you're gonna probably
don't
sound
know.
a lot
Wait.
better saying it.
I don't know. All I know, I've done very little research on him because I just think he is such a douchebag. I don't know. In the ring, I've seen him talk. I didn't see him fight at all, so take that for what it's worth. But I'll say this: in the ring, I've seen him talk shit. I've seen him do a little bit of performing in there, just not wrestling though. And I guess I get the appeal, right? His YouTube,
You
he's
get the
like 27
appeal.
years old.
You
Huh?
really got to explain the appeal, because I don't get the appeal.
He's a great heel. Like, I don't know, that's what I'm getting. I think the guy is the worst. When you look at his YouTube page, right? Now, again, I don't like to personally disparage people. I really don't. I'm a fan of everyone. And he makes his money. I got no judgments there. You know, he does what he needs to do to make money, and the guy makes loads of fucking money. He's 27, right? I think that's what
Something like that.
I don't know how a grown ass man acts like this. And there's a difference between wrestling when you do it for the show, and that's not who you are as a human being. You have a life, and your maturity is where your age is. And when you're 27 years old and you're just, it's just like a perpetual playboy, right? He's like Arthur. I'm probably quite a bit older than you are, Dave, but the movie Arthur with Tony, who's the guy? Who's the guy, Arthur? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Dudley Moore. Yeah,
Dudley
the
Moore.
pro's gonna have
Dudley
no
Moore.
fucking idea who Dudley Moore or Arthur.
Look up the movie. It's fantastic. They did a remake with some other guy. But
Exactly.
he's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
a perpetual playboy who just acts like a fucking idiot all the time. I don't know. I have zero. Why? Okay, well, good question. Do you think that there is crossover? Do you think that his YouTube viewership is the same people that watch wrestling, or do you think he's bringing a whole kind of another demographic to wrestling from his YouTube? Do you think he's good for the brand?
I didn't like the first question. I'm going to answer no, but the second question I'm going to say yes, because I think there's a lot of Logan Paul fans out there. I mean, like him or not, he's very popular on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Like him or not. So wherever his fans, wherever he goes, his fans are going to go and watch. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen people never watch a wrestling match and go, "Holy shit, it's Logan Paul!" You know, I'm going to watch this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with his boxing too. And as far as like him as a person, I don't like him. I think he's a douchebag. All right. I don't like him. I don't like, ever since that Suicide Forest thing where you don't know that? He filmed a dead body. All right. It was a big scandal.
Are you talking about in Japan?
Yeah, he got completely deplatformed there for a little bit.
Can you clue us in on this? Because I was not, I know the Paul brothers, but I don't know shit about his YouTube. I don't know anything about the controversy. So if you could tell our audience and tell us, because I have no idea what
they're nothing but they've been nothing but controversial since starting their YouTube career. But he went to, it was like January of 2018, start of the new year. He went to vlog in Japan, and he was being Logan. He was being obnoxious and disrespectful towards the culture and shit like that. And they had this bright idea to go to the forest. I forgot exactly what it's called, but it's a Japanese forest notorious for people that go in there and hang themselves. And I'm sorry, this is like, if this is too touchy of a subject, but it's a real thing that happens. So they wanted to take a tour. Well, the tour guide said, do not go off the trail. All right.
Yeah.
Because you might find something that you won't like. What did he do? He went off the trail. You could see it in the YouTube video. Well, it's deleted now, but you could have. They walk a little bit. They get his reaction going, "Oh my God, I think that's a dead body." And instead of not filming it and just getting his reaction,
Right.
they not only filmed it, but they got close-ups of it and everybody's genuine reaction. That came out all over the news. He had to publicly apologize, and I mean, it was such a huge thing that to the point he stopped doing YouTube for like almost a year. Finally came back. Now he's doing this crypto zoo scandal, and he's just under a lot of controversy. That's why I don't like him as a person, and that's mainly why. It's because he's an idiot. But as far as him as a wrestler, I think he's pretty solid, and he's got the right attitude for it. He's really good. Ellie, if you haven't checked out his wrestling, do it. He had a match with Roman Reigns not too long ago that was pretty decent, and it was for the championship. I think that was at Crown Jewel.
Well, we didn't. I didn't watch Crown Jewel because I won't support anything that has to do with Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
I did because I guess I don't care as much, but it's just he's pretty solid, and like you said, he's already got that personality where he can come across as a really good heel if you wanted to. Now I feel like it's unfair because everybody already has, like me, this opinion about him because they know about his YouTube career prior to actually showing up to WWE. And he gets a lot of hate sometimes for people that for his wrestling. I don't think that's fair. I think you should kind of separate it a little bit. But I know that's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to blur the lines with wrestling sometimes. But
and when you build an entire career,
historically, no, sorry, go ahead.
Can I go? When you build an entire career on being a fucking asshole and not caring what other people think and just going out there, and I mean, what you just said about him going, for one, why do they even have tours going through that forest? If that is, I know very well that forest. That gives me another layer of hate. My sister, whose picture is right over here, completed suicide in 2013. And that's a horrific thing that he did. So that's just another layer of why I don't like him. So thank you for sharing that with me. But when you build a career on being as controversial as he likes to be, you can't expect to go outside, branch out outside of that and have people put that aside, especially when you're making as much money as he's making and he's pushing as many as products as he's pushing on his YouTube. You can't expect to be someone else in another entertainment realm. And that's where I think like that's the difference between what he's doing and what wrestlers are doing. Plenty of wrestlers can then go off and have careers doing other things in the entertainment industry because we all understand this is the appropriate time and place. And that's where I think kind of CM Punk is a little bit different because they all kind of go online and say what they want to say. CM Punk kind of lives this life of being straight edge, which I'm there for. I like that. What is that?
The CM Punk's logo. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Best
I
in the
couldn't
world.
see it. So, but
Pro's not a CM Punk fan at all.
No.
But go ahead. Sorry,
I don't
Ellie.
think that Logan Paul can expect to have any other kind of reaction than what he gets when people don't like him due to what he's built his entire life around. My opinion.
Well, in the wrestling business, controversy creates cash. He's a controversial figure. Whether he adds any real, viewership or subscriptions for Peacock and the Peacock Network and for WWE, the Pro seems to think that, people that are not wrestling fans but are big Logan Paul fans, they're tuning in because of Logan Paul. That may or may not be true. I don't know. I don't know the actual numbers, but controversy creates cash. He's a controversial figure. He's going to draw eyes to a product that people don't normally watch. he's pretty solid in the ring. He's done some stuff that's definitely impressed me. So we'll see. He's going up against who, hands down, is one of my favorite guys, Seth Rollins. Now, Pro, you're a Rollins fan, right?
Mhm.
Or are you on the I hate Seth Rollins and this whole gimmick and his character? To me, I think it's probably one of the best things I've ever seen. But I think it's either you love it or you fucking hate it. So where are you at with it?
I love it. I love his fucking new outfits that come on every week.
He keeps it exciting.
Yeah.
Right?
I love the
But
big
that's
boots.
that's the best thing about wrestling. Like, I know they say this is a soap opera for the most part for men, grown men or whatever, but it's got its fair share of women fans. And I think the WWE women's division over the last years, I mean, these women, they steal the show. I am pumped for Charlotte and Rhea to headline night one. I really hope that is the case. I think they're gonna probably steal the show. But anyways, getting back to that, like, yeah, Seth Rollins, the crowd singing along, like everything about Seth. He's like the embodiment of a sports entertainer, right? And he's fucking great in the ring. The guy is strong as shit. He can go. He's had a pretty long career with not having very many injuries. So he's been very fortunate with that. But anyways, Pro, get back to what we're saying about Seth. What do you think about this match? And yeah, give us your take on Seth.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the build up for it has been kind of rushed. I don't know. I've been watching a little bit of WWE, not as much, if I'm being fully transparent. But from what I can see, it just feels like they're kind of rushing it just for WrestleMania. I mean, because wasn't Seth Rollins just in a program with somebody else not too long ago?
No, they've been they actually been milking this a little while.
Have they?
I would have to disagree. I don't think it's rushed. And go back and watch some of the highlights. Logan Paul knocking Seth Rollins out with that overhand right. Seth Rollins has sold the shit out of that 2 weeks in a row. And now the week before Mania, I'm sure Logan's going to knock him out again. But we know Seth's going to come out on top, at Mania. But you want to talk about a lost art? Selling is a lost art. Yeah. Seth Rollins, that's selling 101.
But like, I've seen some people have problems with that punch.
What?
Like online, what? Yeah. Even I mean, shout out to Toe and Kenny, but Toe also said, like, let me get this straight. This guy can take a chair to the back, go through a table, get chopped a million times, but he can't take one stupid punch.
I mean, and I'm like, the guy's got a hell of a. I mean, the guy has had legitimate fights in boxing and MMA or whatever, so the guy can throw a legitimate punch. But I mean, you can't tell me that Seth selling that punch.
No, it's great.
Makes it look like, oh wow, this guy's fucking for real, right?
But I'm sorry, Ellie, you were gonna say something.
I have to say, for not being a Logan Paul fan, I thought that last time was amazing. It had to do with where the camera was as well, because when Logan Paul came down. So I don't know. To me, I'm always looking for like somebody working stiff, really getting hit, really getting hurt, and that caught me off guard. I was really shocked by that. He sold it, like you're saying, Tony. Not only did the punch look so believable, again, I think because of the camera angle and because Logan knows what he's doing. He knows how to throw a punch and he knows how to probably pull it. But then because of what Seth did, I don't know. That was super impressive. And I totally agree. I think selling is such a lost art. And it's what really irritates me about these things is that if you're not in congruence with each other, you have to sell more. I mean, obviously The Rock was like amazing at doing. I was just watching. Who was it? I can't even remember. I'm horrible with names on the spot, so sorry. But to sell someone's even shitty move, it's such an art, and it's so pleasing to see it. It really just brings it alive, and that's the thing. When it's bad, it's just so bad. And then you add the bad plots, and it's just like, ugh.
Do you know who was a king of selling or still is. If he hasn't been on TV much, but Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh,
Dolph is
yeah. Where has
fantastic
he
at
been?
selling.
I have no idea.
He's probably hanging out in the AEW locker room wanting to get a shot over there.
Well, yeah, he
His
was
brother
really
works
good.
there.
Did
But
he
yeah,
get injured? Why is he gone? Just,
I don't know.
Nothing for him.
Yeah, there's
yeah.
you got such a loaded roster. WWE and AEW, they got so much talent, and I think a lot of the talent doesn't necessarily get used when they should. But Dolph's had his big runs in WWE, so it's not like this guy's like, oh, he hasn't had his shot, hasn't had his run. He's definitely had his run. But anyways, we're almost out of time. The show just flew by today. Had a blast. It was great to be back. Pro, as always, man. Love having you on. Ellie, I hope you had a great time. You dropped 4 huge words on us today. The last one was congruent or congruency. So we're going to have everybody pull out their thesaurus or dictionary on the next show, just in case she's dropping the big words on us. So
yeah, what was the other
Ellie.
word that you said? You
We'll
said
just scroll.
Litigious.
Say it again?
Duplicitous.
what was the other word?
words?
She said
Duplicitous, litigious,
Congruency.
congruence. There was another one.
She said
that was number
"Hallelujah,
4.
ave wa, ce soir."
Oh, je ne sais quoi. There you
You
go.
just say "qua." Okay.
Yeah,
She's fucking
What
dropping
is that?
other
Je ne sais
languages. We're dropping big words. Yeah, she's keeping us on her toes, keeping the brains going. So
We're
Yeah,
gonna raise
that
the
was
bar.
good.
Gotta raise the bar.
we always got to raise the bar. So anyways, thank you guys so much. Pro, let us know, let our audience know where to find you, the shows you got going on. Tell us what you got in the works, man.
So yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram. That's mainly where I do my thing, at the Pro Wrestling Podcast. That's where you can see a bunch of CM Punk comments and likes. So that's pretty dope. That's probably like what I'm most known for now. And
Tell them I said
every yeah. Every Wednesday I do a AEW watch party, and every Friday I do a SmackDown watch party, and then after SmackDown we do immediately a Rampage watch along. So I'm mainly doing watch alongs. I haven't done a In My Opinion in a while because I can't find guests that will want to come on. Like I want them to come to me instead of me coming to them. So but it is what it is. But I do that every Tuesday, depending on the guest, anytime that they want. Ellie, if you wanted to come on, you are invited. But
Thank you.
that's pretty much all that I do. I have a Twitter.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, you know what? You've been on twice. I don't even want to hear it.
I'm trying to flick
yeah.
you.
And then yeah, I have a Twitter at the PW Pod, and that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, thanks again, man, for joining us. I appreciate your time today.
Mhm.
Ellie, thank you so much. I hope you had a blast.
I
Next Saturday is night 1 of Mania. We are going to be doing a special show, special time next Saturday. Going to give a preview, rundown, predictions for night 1, night 2. I'm your host, Tony Twist, ATW, All Things Wrestling Podcast. Join us next week. Special day, special time, Saturday. Everyone, have a happy Sunday. LEG, thank you. The Pro, thank you. And we're out of here.